Here we go.
So we have an accessible media project that is a card game, and it is accessible both to people who are immobile and cannot move because it is a card game, and we're also making it accessible to the blind by including Braille on all of our cards as well as textures. Shared universe, all we came up with was Earth. That's all I was told. That's all we talked about.
We'll talk about that one. Okay.
We'll talk about that one later. But involving a disastrous plot hole, I mean, the whole premise of the game is that you're a hero and you're trying to find out who the other heroes are, but you're also at the same time trying to win against them. However, there are also the villains, and you also don't know the identity of these villains. And if they at some point unite and they each have this atomic bomb card, then the game ends and no one has won. The villains have technically won, but the point of the game was defeated, so...
That's pretty disastrous.
That's pretty disastrous. Hazelnut lattes, we have a hazelnut latte card. That is one of the special items that needs to be collected by one of the superheroes in the game. Potentially Kim Possible. Involving a fortress. So there's special immunity cards in the game, which are called fortress cards, and they involve fortresses of various villains, which, ironically, those are the immunity cards. So we have, like, Mojo Jojo's fortress and Bowser's castle or fortress, and those are the immunity cards. Incorporating harsh criticism. So you really need to be able to use your judgment really well in this game and your critical thinking skills, because you're really trying to find out who all of these players are. So that involves harsh criticism. Concerning the best intentions, your intentions are really to win the game. You're trying to help others out, but really you're trying to help yourself. And so sometimes it involves the default or the fall of your ally because the ultimate goal is to win. Regarding an inconvenient ability, as each superhero has their own superpowers or abilities, there are also, each of them has a weakness, and there are weakness cards, such as for Superman there's Kryptonite. So those are the inconvenient abilities that come with the perks of being a superhero. Involving a crooked cop, we have a crooked cop. He is actually a good guy, but he has a crooked nose. There's a card for it. Involving a bunny. The bunny, we put Thumper from Bambi. He is also a special item card that one of the superheroes needs to collect. Involving a rumor. Again, the whole premise of the game is that no one knows what your identity is, so you're trying to trick people into thinking that you have a different identity, so you're spreading gossip and rumors about others and about yourself. Trope frenemies. Everyone in this game is a frenemy because you're trying to be friends to figure out who they are, but really you're just trying to win. About the news. So we have interview cards, which involve the news, which are one of the actions that you can do during your turn. And if you have an interview card, you can potentially interview them as if for the news. And this involves that they must reveal a part of their identity or the special items that they currently have on hand. Intended for children. I mean, it's a card game. It's probably a higher level card game, but I'm sure children will be interested because they learn really fast. And the Drost effect, there's mini games within the games because there's a duel that you can play. This whole thing is thing within a thing.
Right,
thing
yeah.
Within itself.
This is an interesting application of it, yeah.
We didn't do an image within an image. There's mini games within the game, which is within the greater scope of the game. Which
Sounds
is
count. Yes, very clever. All right.
Right now. A stranger comes to town. These we incorporated as the villains because the cards are randomized each round of games that you play, so you really don't know who the stranger or the villain is in each game. The Puppet Master. The Puppet Masters are each of the players, actually, not just the villains, because each individual player is trying to conceal their identity while trying to find the identity of the others, so each player in his own sense is a Puppet Master. Smells Like 90s Spirit. We included a lot of famous superheroes and cartoons from the 90s, such as Kim Possible, the Power Rangers, Powerpuff Girls, all that good stuff that everyone grew up with. Featuring an abrupt ending. This has to do kind of with the plot hole, but it's if the villains unite before someone wins, the game is over. Kind of sad, but you start over and it's a lot of fun. Passing the Bechdel test. This is just two female characters talking to each other, not in regards to a male. This game is obviously for both genders, and your gender doesn't have to apply to your character's gender, and you're not talking about the gender of other people. You're just plotting and trying to win the game. Involving capes, we made one of the rules that everyone has to wear a cape during the game just because it's fun. Including the death of a major character. You can potentially kill off your friends in this game. It is possible, so everyone's a major character. Trope, a long-lost sibling. You can earn special points if you find other heroes or people within the same universe, so such as if Blossom finds Bubbles or Buttercup.
Okay.
That subverts the Mary Sue. No one in the game has a name from without the game. They're all fictitious superheroes and villains. Intended for children, I guess we have this one twice. About the Fantastic. Everyone's fantastic. They're superheroes. And this is Ben Butler, who is part of our project.
Aha.
His gold card.
Okay. So wait, let's hold on. First of all, we do two things. First of all, is the children card in there twice? Is it critical for you?
I think.
You might have to use it in two different ways, so we'll have to figure that out.
Okay.
And make sure that we're going to do your layout here in a second and see how that goes. Okay. Secondly, questions. Yes. We do an interview. This thing's already super long, but this is your first time in the game office.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's a big project, a lot of cards. What gave you the idea to start on this?
We were originally planning another really complicated project that we realized needed a lot more character development and a lot more plot analysis and just development in general. So we decided to meet up for lunch and rediscuss our project, and ended up just coming with a new project altogether. And we spent, I think, 4 hours in EBK just coming up with the hypothetical details of this game and making the cards. And I ran to my room to get flashcards, and it was a lot of fun, actually.